Hey cruisers, what's up? Welcome to our live stream today. We've missed you guys so much. I sat down an hour early to enjoy everybody's company in the live chat because I've been having my usual Vlogtoberfest withdrawals. And here we are, it's almost Thanksgiving already. I can't believe the month is almost halfway over. This is crazy. Today's live stream is sponsored by cruiseline.com, where you can find reviews, tips, and photos from real, everyday cruisers. I have a challenge for you guys too. You know what I would love for you to do with cruiseline.com? When you guys write your ship reviews or your trip reviews over there on the website, I would love for you to share them with our community. You can either post them to our Facebook page, email them to me, or post them in the comments of a video here. We really love reading your reviews. I got one last week from Mindkey Photo, and it was so awesome to read and review, and I thought, wouldn't it be great if we could start sharing them with each other? So please do that. Wanted to let everybody know too that our next live stream is 2 weeks from today, December 2nd at noon, same time, same place. We'll be sticking to 1 hour, maybe even 45 minutes on the nose because our son has a piano recital that afternoon. So we're gonna have to kind of bug out right afterwards, but I'll let you know about the theme when we choose one. I'm kind of tossing around a few fun ideas, but I haven't really decided yet. So we will see. Next videos we have coming, we have on the 28th. So I guess that will probably be Tuesday after next maybe. We have a fun kind of vlog all about Caribbean Princess and the Panama Canal and the refurbishments on that ship that we've got coming for you guys. And then on, I think it's November 30th, our next video, and this is not live streams, these are just regular recorded videos, we're going to be doing our Pack With Me video for our carry-on only for Panama Canal and the Caribbean Princess. Really excited about that. So we are here for you guys today. We are at your service to answer questions. We have been compiling questions all week long, and one of the first questions I want to address right away, because I know this is going to be a really hot topic, you guys, is Melissa Fierro asked, will you please talk about Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals for cruises? And I wanted to just let you guys know what I'm seeing with that right now, because I know that everybody wants to get the best deal on cruises. I'm actually already seeing some deals come out for sort of like, they're calling them all kinds of different things like 1 week sales, cyber sales. They're not calling them Black Friday or anything like that necessarily yet soon, so stay tuned. I'm sure that those sales will be coming, but here's what we have seen. Princess is having a cyber sale now on cruises that you can book soon or later. Celebrity is having what they're calling an insider sale right now. Now, the Celebrity sale ends tomorrow, Sunday, the 19th of November, so if you want to sail with Celebrity, jump on that one quickly. And Windstar, you guys, Windstar, more premium, small ship, masted ships, they are doing a 1 week sale. They have been, that ends today. So the sales are already happening. If you're interested in any of those lines, get out there, check them out. I have not seen any sales with Carnival yet. I've been poking around and looking, but I haven't seen any yet. So let's pop into the chat and see who's here today.
I just posted Norwegian's in the chat.
Oh.
Is actually having a Black Friday.
Okay, all right, you guys. Mr. Cruise Tips TV said that Norwegian is indeed having a Black Friday sale. We have a link to it in the chat right now. So, SoCal Seth, nice to see you. Yes, packing's going great. Your tips helped. I didn't end up using the duffel bag, but when you watch our Pack With Me video, you'll probably see some of your tips employed. I ended up doing a lot of rolling into my suitcase instead of folding. I did a combination of rolling and folding, so hopefully that was the right move. I think it was, because I was rolling a bunch of dresses. So thank you so much for all that. Hey, Scott's here. Scott, you guys, is from Scott Singer Cruises, one of my favorite YouTubers. He's awesome vlogger. And if you haven't already caught his many trip vlogs, he has recently returned from an Alaska cruise on Holland America and a Princess cruise to the Mediterranean. And a lot of you guys ask me about Mediterranean cruise vlogs. And Scott has some awesome ones on a recent trip that he did with his family. So be sure to subscribe to his channel, Scott Singer Cruises, here on YouTube. He is a sweetheart, and I think very highly of him and his work. Hi, Kimberly. Hi, Aaron. I can't say hello to everybody today, but we will definitely try to hit as many of you as we possibly can and get some questions answered. Hi.
Did I miss a chat over there, Q?
Yeah, you did. Oh, you didn't miss it. Okay, roll the chat, Mr. Cruise Tips TV. I forgot to tell Mr. Cruise Tips TV to roll the chat. Aw, here it comes, guys. Sorry about that. We want everyone who watches this in replay to be able to see all the fun activity that goes up on the screen. It's funny how we have a lot of people who show up early for the chat. You know, usually around an hour early. I sit down and kind of put on my lipstick and hang out here for a little while and see how everybody's doing. And there's always a direction that the chat tends to go. Sometimes people are talking about the Caribbean, sometimes they're talking about the weather, but today they were talking about cats. We got really big into cats. We were talking a lot about the weather, and we were talking a lot about Shipmate app. Everybody was sharing their Shipmate app usernames and things like that, so it was really fun. So if you're ever bored an hour before the, the live stream and you want to come hang out with us, I usually try to pop in for a few minutes before we get started. And then once this goes live, Mr. Cruise Tips TV, he's dominating in the chat, and I'm just sitting by the sidelines here. So Mr. Cruise Tips TV, help me out with holding. Will you kind of keep an eye on some of the questions that are coming in right now? I'm going to go ahead and answer Chigozarim Afebi's question that I see coming in here. It says, what cruise line do you guys recommend for a first cruise with teens? Norwegian, Carnival, or Royal Caribbean? It really depends on where you live, but with teens, without any knowledge about you, where you live, and where you want to cruise, I'd say probably Royal Caribbean. A really great line for teens. Norwegian and Carnival are both fantastic for teens as well, though, too. So that's just kind of a quick one. Yeah, Bonnie, yes, hubby Jr. is doing really beautifully on the piano. He is playing Hark How the Bells, I guess it's called, for his recital. And what is that, sweetie? Carol of the Bells? Yeah, Carol of the Bells is, I guess, the more common name of it. But it's so weird. He sits down, and I just am amazed at how his little fingers can play. It's beautiful to watch, and it sounds so beautiful in our home to have the home filled with someone playing the piano. It's just crazy how his young little mind is just so impressionable at this stage. So, all right. Tay's going on Emerald Princess to Alaska in June. Oh my gosh, tips. Yeah, we could give you tons of tips, Tay. Watch our Alaska vlogs from our recent trip on Grand Princess. You'll get a ton of tips there. June should be really fun. Get out there and do some excursions would be something that I'd recommend. Go enjoy the local food. Go enjoy some activities. Don't just necessarily walk around the port. If you can, try to book a little something here and there. I know it's expensive, but save a little bit of money for that. So, great. Okay, guys, let's read some questions that we have from our subscribers this last week. I want to make sure I don't miss anybody, and we have a ton. Becky says, I can't make the live stream Saturday, but I do have a couple of questions. They're doing the Mexican Riviera on Grand Princess in March of next year for their second cruise on her husband's 70th birthday. They want to do a fishing boat for the two of them. And it looks like they want to do that in Mazatlan. Does anybody know of a reputable I guess you call it deep sea fishing place in Mazatlan? And also she wants to know, how do cruisers pack their EpiPens in warm climate places, especially on excursions? So let's help Becky out. If anybody knows of any deep sea fishing places in Mazatlan. I've also heard, Becky, that deep sea fishing is great in Cabo, and I wouldn't worry too much about the reputability. If you're doing your research on a reputable website, you should be fine finding a kind of charter in Mazatlan or Cabo. As for your EpiPen, my understanding is that those just need to stay hopefully at room temperature and not get too hot. So what I would probably do is pack it in some kind of a wet bag, maybe put it in a Ziploc bag inside your backpack or something like that would be my recommendation. But we'll have the chat rolling, and if anybody else has any ideas, you'll see them coming right up on the chat. The Recon 1A, who is here today, hey there, has a question for us about Grand Cayman. Wants to know if we have any suggestions on excursions for Grand Cayman. He is going on Carnival Freedom very soon. So let's get some Grand Cayman tips going here. Night Audit, hello, who is also here in the chat here, left a comment in our White Pass and Yukon Route Rail vlog, wanting to know a couple of things about tipping. So he wants to know about tipping extra for your room steward and tipping the porter. So what do you guys do about tipping your porter per bag? Do you give them $1, $5, $10 a bag, $2 a bag? What do you do? And as far as the room steward goes, how much extra do you guys tip your room steward, if anything at all? And we can help with that. I'm going to go ahead, Night Audit, and let you know kind of what I do with both of those situations. It sort of depends on the size of our bags for the porter, but usually if the bags are pretty lightweight, I give $1 per bag. Sometimes if we have heavier luggage, I'll just hand them a $5 bill for our whole transaction, if you will. I think I would say more commonly, we will give them 2 large bags and I'll give them a $5 bill. That's just kind of how I roll. It seems easier. And over the years, that's kind of what I've heard other people say that they do too. As for the room steward, they don't expect something extra from you. I have done it both ways before. I've gone on a cruises before where I have not given an additional gratuity. I've also gone on a cruise before where I've given them a $20 bill on day one because I know I might have a few extra special requests on that cruise. Like I may want my ice refilled twice a day. I might want extra towels. Or maybe I feel like my kid is gonna require a little extra attention. Maybe they're extra messy or something like that. There's, some reasons why you might want to. On our next cruise, I think I'm gonna probably do like a $10 or $20 on day one and then another 10 or 20 at the end of the cruise, in addition to the auto gratuities, if they're great. If I'm getting the sense that they're really gonna be hardworking and they check in with us early, then we'll probably do something like that. So let's see what everybody else is saying. Nadia said $10 to the porter and $40 extra for her room steward. Brandy Whiting says $1 per bag for the porters for them and the room steward an extra $20. Very good information, you guys. Thank you so much. I see Grand Cayman tips coming in. Mama Dot says Turtle Farm and Hell in Grand Cayman. Good suggestion, Mama Dot. I know you've done those a few times. Let's see here. I saw another one come in on Grand Cayman a moment ago, and I'm missing it here. Oh, where did it go? Okay. Where is that Grand Cayman tip? Oh my goodness, well, I'll have to find it. But Recon 1A, hope you're still here. Hopefully some Grand Cayman tips are coming in hot for you. Amanda wants to know if I know of any resorts in Cabo that offer day passes. Yes, Amanda, the Riu Palace, I believe, offers day passes in Cabo. You might want to check that one out. Okay. Allison's talking about the tipping Night Audit. Allison said $2 a bag for the porter. For the room steward, $10, and then an additional $10 at the end. Yeah, I think that's a really nice, generous thing to do. Katie said I normally write a note card for my room steward and the dining steward in addition to extra tips. It just shows some thought. I totally agree. A lot of times we'll do that too. Sometimes we'll leave them notes, sometimes we won't. I even like to leave them sticky notes on the wall sometimes, just thanking them for what they're doing with $10 bill or $20 bills, stuck to it. And I think it just, I like to brighten their mood at the beginning of the cruise. They've just had that difficult turnaround day, right? That's the hardest day of the cruise for those poor people. And how nice is it to maybe when they're just so exhausted and they're greeting everybody and they're putting out all of that energy on day one for you. How nice to kind of brighten their day and maybe start their week off great and give them money to go buy an extra phone card in the next port for their family. That's kind of how I look at it. So, okay, let's see here. Great. Moving on to the next question, guys. Thank you for all the tips that are coming in today. You guys are the best. L for Lee XMN said, Sherry, I need help. We're going on a cruise in the Carnival Horizon. I'm a 13-year-old and I'm going on with my family. We've been on 2 cruises. Any tips? I really need help on the do's and don'ts. So does anybody have any tips for our 13-year-old Carnival Horizon cruiser? Do's and don'ts. Do's would be definitely try the teen club for your age group. See what it's like. See if you make new friends. Definitely wear sunscreen. I'm sorry, the mom in me is talking. Definitely take lots of pictures. Participate in stuff as well. Go swimming. Go on the treasure hunt. Look at your newsletter, your Royal Caribbean Daily newsletter, and try to get involved in different activities. Anybody have any do's and don'ts for Carnival Horizon? let us know. And we have another one here coming in from Chloe Ong. Chloe says, hi Sherry, I'm Chloe, 21 years old, living in Australia. I love your videos. My family and I are going on the cruise on Golden Princess during Christmas and New Year's. I want to do something for my parents where they have done so much for me this whole year. Is there anything special I can do for them that won't cost a cent? Chloe wants things to do to thank her parents, you guys, for being awesome parents that doesn't cost any money. So you could probably order them a cake or something in the dining room to be delivered to them, and that probably wouldn't cost you any extra money. The dining staff is used to doing that for people's birthdays and anniversaries and things like that. They don't necessarily have to sing to them, but you could also do that. You could also write them a very heartfelt card before you leave and give that to them. You could also invest a very small amount of money in decorating their room if you wanted to take some room decorations. As for other free tips, I think just spend time with them, Chloe. I think that's the best gift that you can give your parents on the cruise is have dinner with them and maybe, you know, just spend a little bit of extra time with them. Ask them about their past, ask them about their childhood, and enjoy their company. If anybody else has any tips for Chloe, you guys, on how to spoil her parents at no cost, bring them in. We'd love to hear. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, Lisa's saying that the crew do not get free Wi-Fi. That's so true. They don't get free Wi-Fi. They really need to be, we need to give them, you know, that opportunity to buy those phone cards. It's so true. Okay, you guys are doing a lot of great dialoguing here about the tipping. Thank you so much for weighing in on that. I know that it's a very sensitive subject and everybody really has different approaches, but it sounds like y'all are pretty generous people. Okay. Jay Hicks is asking if the Stingray and Turtle excursion in Grand Cayman is wheelchair friendly. I don't know about that. I don't think it is, but maybe there's a few that providers that can accommodate that. What an excellent question. Now I'm going to go ahead and get to some of your questions that have been coming in the chat. Thank you, Mr. Cruise Tips TV. Roxanne, hello Roxanne, I'm so sorry. Roxanne Hayes says, for Carnival, do the non-alcoholic drinks brought on board have to be in an unopened box? In other words, can I mix and match different flavors as long as it equals 12 in a carry-on? Roxanne, you probably could. As long as it's not in plastic bottles, it's in cans, and you put it in the, you know, the original Diet Coke or whatever carton it's in, I think you can mix and match, but don't be offended if they inspect every can. I actually had that happen to me on a Princess cruise one time. They opened the box of sodas and inspected every single can. Like they ripped open the box. It had never even been opened. So yes, you probably can do that because the bottom line is if what you're packing is not forbidden, even if they inspect it and go through it, they're going to give it back to you. Dennis Bonifacia, how to avoid or lower the gratuities price on Harmony of the Seas, or can you get out of the cruise without paying gratuities? Dennis, it's pretty frowned upon to try to get out of the gratuities. It's pretty bad form. So we don't recommend that here at Cruise Tips TV. We may not agree with the fact that the cruise industry charges us for the gratuities instead of paying their staff more, but I think you should pay the gratuities. Ken Deutsch said, my cruise to Alaska is 9/18. Too many excursion companies. How do I pick the right company? I know, Ken, that's really tough. I think the best thing that you can do is look at the reviews, make sure that those excursions get good reviews, really read the comments that people leave on those reviews and think about it. Don't book anything hastily, take your time. And if you have any questions, you can always leave us a comment here or email me, Sherry@cruisetipstv.com, if you want more resources for that, and I can try to help you out. I know it's kind of a big question, but I know what you mean because I found that too when I was researching Alaska. So I just really read the comments that people left about their experiences and booked carefully based on that. Payne Pavey 33 said, hi from Ontario, Canada. I'm subscribed, but I can never seem to find the link or chat before the stream starts. Any YouTube tips for me to see that? Yes, there should be a really teeny tiny little gray box down underneath the event that we've set up for the live stream that says live chat, and you just have to click on the live chat and it should pop up. If anybody else wants to tell Payne Pavey how to get in there, let me know if I'm explaining it correctly. Okay, let's see here. I think we already got the first time cruiser question here. Flyover Country, are you friends on Facebook or other social media? Flyover Country, I'm not sure what you mean, but if you're asking if we're on social media, we totally are. We're Cruise Tips TV, all one word, on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. That's how you can find us. Becky Clark said, happy Saturday from Tennessee. Planning a Christmas cruise to the Caribbean next year for our second cruise. First with our boys, 14 and 11. Is it appropriate to leave gifts for room steward or favorite bartender? Yeah, Becky, it's totally appropriate to gift them. I think the gift of cash is probably the most appreciated one, but if you want to do something a little more personalized, you definitely can do that. It's just difficult to know what their tastes might be. So I think that can be kind of hard, but yeah, absolutely. I'm sure that they'll appreciate that. You could even get them a little stocking and fill it with $1 bills. That'd be kind of cool. Emily Robb said, hi, this is my first live stream. I'm going on a cruise to the Bahamas in January with Carnival. Does anyone have suggestions on what to do in Nassau and Freeport other than Atlantis? You know what we did, Emily? I always forget about this excursion, but we went to this excursion called Blue Lagoon when we were in Nassau one time, a long, long time ago, and that was really fun. It was like you took a little boat to this like private island, and they had a fun little buffet, and they had a cute beach to hang out on. They had little slides and stuff. It was fun. So you could look into that, and maybe some other folks here will bring in some comments in the chat on what you could do in Nassau. I don't know about Freeport. I've never been to Freeport. All right. Flyover Country said, what are some of the ports on a Canada-New England cruise and things to do on those ports? Flyover Country, it depends on the cruise. I can tell you the one that we went on was a Boston to Montreal. So it started in one city and ended in another. Actually, it's the reverse. It started in Montreal and ended in Boston. And we went to Quebec City, Prince Edward Island. We went to Halifax, Nova Scotia. We went to Bar Harbor, Maine, and we went to, oh my goodness, I think I'm maybe missing one other port, but there's so many wonderful things to do, from going to see national parks, to taking personalized tours, to going to see the fall colors, eating lobster. There's just dozens and dozens of fun things to do. So I highly recommend Canada New England cruises. They are the best. They're so much fun. And make sure that when you do go on that cruise, you pack a variety of clothing because it can be warm and cool on those cruises. All right. Thank you, Mr. Cruise Tips TV. I caught up on those. So let's pop in the chat and see how everybody's doing in here. Okay. So many fun questions today. D. Monique said, what about the ATV excursions in Ensenada? I've never tried that, D. Monique, but that sounds really fun. It sounds like a rush, and I'm sure it's relatively inexpensive to do that in Ensenada. That's one thing that's great about Mexico, is the excursions can be a little bit more reasonable. Bonnie has a suggestion if you're going to be going to Canada and New England, and she said go to Acadia National Park. Yes, Bonnie, that's a good one. They have lots of bus tours up to Acadia National Park. It's beautiful. We did that one, and we combined it with a lobster feast or something. It was really fun. Super great. Okay. Amanda said, sorry, Sherry, what was the name of that beach resort and day passes? Amanda, if you're talking about the one I mentioned in Cabo San Lucas, I think it's the Riu Palace that does day passes, but there may be other ones too. Go to cruiseline.com, and they have an excursion site there that has resort for a day type things. So make sure that you check that out. Brandy said in Nassau, you can walk to Junkanoo Beach. Good tip. Thank you very much. Diana, what is it like to cruise on Christmas and New Year's? Diana, it's not something that I've ever done before, so I'll let other people kind of speak to that. But what I can tell you is that there will be more families, more children. It's extremely festive around Christmas. They do a lot to decorate. Lots of Christmas related activities. Sometimes Santa even makes an appearance, and it is really, really special. So. Hey Tommy, you're here. Tommy from Always Be Booked is here, guys, weighing in on some Freeport tips. Freeport has some of the best snorkeling you've ever seen. Take a cab to Port Lucaya, and plenty to see and do there. Beach, casino, bars, restaurants, shopping. Tommy, this is why we love you. I did not know that. I would have never guessed that you could do like that easy snorkeling in Freeport. That's awesome to know. Thank you so much for that. Mama Dot suggests clam chowder being the best in New England. Ah, yes, that sounds so good right now. I'm hungry. Oh my goodness sakes. Okay. Scott Singer said, New Year's cruises are awesome. I sailed on Eurodam over NYE and it was so much fun. You're in for a treat. Yeah, that sounds fun. Scott, did you do that on Princess or was it Holland America? And did they do like a balloon drop and a countdown and everything? I feel like I remember you telling me that. Sounds so fun. Okay. Mr. Cruise Tips TV, what questions am I missing? Anything you can...
Roxanne Hayes is asking about wax warmers like the Sensi. Is it allowed on Carnival?
Ooh, wax warmers? Oh, Roxanne, you've stumped me. I don't know if they allow wax warmers, but I don't think I would take one because of the fact that it has the light bulbs that they come in might be against the kind of heating element policy that most cruise lines have, so I probably would leave it at home. I'm really sorry to say that, but if it was me, I wouldn't take it because I know that they take up a lot of room in this suitcase. So maybe if you wanted to do something, maybe take a plug-in air freshener that just plugs right into the plug. But then we don't have enough plugs on a cruise, so then you're going to be using your plug. I'm going to have to think about that one. You stumped me, I gotta tell you. I'm not really sure. Seth says lobster. Okay. Carrie, is it Carrie Marshall? Driving to Ruby Princess right now. Yay. Oh, how exciting, Carrie. How fun. I love Mexican Riviera cruises. Does somebody have suggestions on good places to snorkel on your own in Puerto Vallarta? See, the thing about snorkeling in Vallarta, Carrie, is that you're not going to be snorkeling along just any beach. You've really got to get out of town to the south end of town to do any good snorkeling. The most popular places to snorkel would be Los Arcos in Puerto Vallarta, but I really don't know that you would want to just drive up there in a rental car or something. I might suggest that you get an excursion to snorkel there. We have snorkeled on a number of occasions, and I want you to just make sure that your expectations are not that it's going to be Caribbean blue water. It really isn't. It's nice, but it's not great. Snorkeling is okay in Cabo and okay in Vallarta, but don't expect it to be all that pretty like it would be in the Caribbean. Yalapa, Mahahuita, those beaches that are far, far, far south, if you take any excursion to one of those places or to the Marietas Islands, those are going to be the places where you find the snorkeling, but I don't know how I would advise you to do it on your own. Okay, Scott is weighing in on that New Year's Eve. Did New Year's Eve on Holland America's Euro Dam. No balloon drop, but there was a countdown. 4 different parties throughout the ship, lots of music, base parties with live bands. Sounds super fun. Oh, Jay Hicks says, be careful. Once you have clam chowder in New England, you'll never want to eat it anywhere else. I know, that's so right. Okay, we have a question here about Faster to the Fun. Amanda says, if you can't get the Faster to the Fun pass, should we get to port extra early? Amanda, that's probably what I would do, and you'll probably still be fine. You know, I'm an 11 a.m. arrival kind of a girl, 10:30, 11, and you do end up sitting around and waiting usually, but at least you'll be some of the first people to get on the ship, right? Among the first people to get on the ship, so yeah. Mike and Cheryl said that on Princess New Year's Eve, they do have the ball drop with live bands. Lots of fun. That's right. You guys were the ones who told me about that. I remember. Okay. Katie has a great question. Katie Henning says, I'm going on Allure next month. And I have cruised before, but I've never been on such a big ship. Does anyone know if there are places that I can chill out without being in my room? Katie, I think you're going to find a lot of great places to chill out. The solarium might be nice. There's going to be a lot of rooms, libraries, even maybe like a nice, quiet, long hallway that you can sit in. I think you'll be just fine. If Tommy's still here from Always Be Booked, he might be able to tell you some chill out spots on Allure. Okay. AZ Girl 66 wants to know if anybody has any tips on Miami excursions in January. That sounds like fun. I haven't spent a lot of time in Miami, but I'm sure we can get somebody to weigh in there for you. Okay. I'm going to go back to reading some of the questions from our subscribers this week, you guys. Let's see what we have here. Okay, Dawn Russo said, in Italy, a lot of people make their own limoncello, and it's awesome. She saw our Tracy Arm Day vlog, you guys, and she's talking about me drinking limoncello in the end. A question, what toiletries are provided by the cruise line? You always seem to take your own. Is that because you have to, or you just prefer your own stuff? And another question, it's not a stupid question, Dawn, don't say that. When tipping, what currency do you tip in? Thanks, great video as always. Okay, so as for the toiletries, yeah, we take our own because the trend in the cruise line industry right now is to have those 2 wall-mounted things in the shower that have shower gel, also known as soapy goo and shampoo. I personally don't really want to use those things, but some people are way, way, way more low maintenance than me and are totally fine with it. My husband and son would be one of them. They'd be totally fine not taking soap or shampoo for the week and just using those. But I take my own because usually that's all you get, maybe a small bottle of lotion. Your question about tipping, you can tip in any currency that you want. I usually tip in US dollars just because of where I'm cruising, but believe me, they will figure it out if you leave them another type of currency, and I wouldn't worry too much about that, okay? Okay, let's see what we have here. A. Zabrowski. April said, on today's live stream, would you please review your video release schedule every other Saturday, every Tuesday, every other Thursday? What is the deal? I'm confused. Okay, I know, April. I'm sorry. I know our posting schedule is a little confusing, but we generally, on Cruise Tips TV, we try to post 2 times a week. So Saturday, every other Saturday, we have a live stream. On the week that we don't have a live stream, we have a Tuesday vlog that we record and publish on Tuesdays, but we do post a video every Thursday. So it's either Tuesday and Thursday or Saturday and Thursday here, okay? On Cruise Gear, we're a little bit more sporadic, but we try to post some kind of a video every Wednesday, and then we do pop-up live streams, unboxings, and things like that. So that, April, is our schedule. All right. Mertice Morgan said, I couldn't figure out how to ask a question, so I'm asking it here. I'm going on Royal Caribbean in December. My question is, how do you get sodas or water in your cabin? I drink quite a bit and I don't sleep much. I've wondered about that. Okay, Mertice, so officially, Royal Caribbean's policy is that you can't take your own soda and water on board, but everybody who cruises Royal Caribbean knows that they look the other way, and it's kind of a don't ask, don't tell policy. So if you want to take a 6-pack of soda and a 6-pack of water or something on board, you're probably going to get away with it, but don't mention it to anybody when you're boarding. Listen to Matt at Royal Caribbean blog, and he'll explain this a little bit further. You can pre-order water and soda to be waiting in your room. That's expensive though. You could also buy the soda package. The soda package would include soda and water. So there's lots of different ways that you can handle it. I hope that that's answered your question. Ryan Weiss says, hello, I'm going on a Panama Canal cruise on the Coral Princess. What are some good things for kids to do? So Ryan, on Coral Princess, the kids clubs should be good, but there may not be a ton of kids because it's Panama Canal, longer cruise, less kids. So the kids are probably gonna love the pools. I think that's where they're gonna spend the great majority of their time, walking around, roaming around, going in the pools. They'll have a blast. Don't worry, there'll be no shortage of fun for them. And of course, eating the pizza on Princess is a great kid activity. Okay. Let's see here. We have lots more questions from our subscribers that came in this week. I have 2 more pages of them, but I do want to pop into the live stream for just a moment and see if we have any more questions coming in. Let's see here. Okay, Carolyn said, good morning from Australia. Have you considered a New Year's cruise down under where it's warm and lovely? Yeah, Carolyn, we'd love to. Someday we'll come cruise New Zealand and Australia, but logistically and economically, it doesn't make sense for us right now, but we would love to do that. I did visit Australia with my family, Australia and New Zealand for about a month when I was 16, and boy, do I want to come back. So we would love to do that. Okay, Amanda has a suggestion for that Miami question that came in earlier. She said, go to the open marketplace in Miami, right on the marina. Lots of restaurants, bars, shops, and music. So much fun. All right. Okay. Thank you, Mike and Cheryl. You guys are so sweet. I really appreciate that. Okie dokie. Night Audit said, with shampoo and conditioner, wife is allergic to a few types, so she needs her own, and it's just better if she brought her own. You can use anything. Yeah, definitely. If you have a special preference or an allergy, definitely take it. Betsy, you're saying curling irons. Like, can you take them on board? Yes, you can. You can take them. Absolutely. Olivia Swimmer says, what is Disney Cruise Line like? We've never sailed with Disney before, Olivia, but I understand that Disney cruises are an absolutely wonderful experience. I hear the food is exceptional, the service is top-notch, and they don't nickel and dime you. They're very expensive cruises in the first place, probably 3 times what you'll pay with the regular mass market cruise lines like Carnival, Norwegian, and Royal Caribbean, but I've heard that they're very much worth it if you're into that experience. Very family friendly. So, all right. Kim Wayman said, any must-do Ensenada tours, must have light activity level due to hubby. You know what, Kim? That's a tough one because even La Bufadora, the blowhole there, you have to walk a bit, but I think you could take a wheelchair and do you could do a wheelchair and do the blowhole. You probably also could do a wine tasting tour in the wine country there, that could be really, really fun. Okay, more questions from Mr. Cruise Tips TV. I can't keep up with the chat today, you guys, so he's actually printing them off for me, which is so sweet. Kate Ox says, my husband and I are going on our first cruise December 1st on Carnival Victory to overnight in Nassau. Any tips on what to eat on board? Any favorites? Anybody have any favorites for Carnival Victory? Kate, I would say definitely hit the steakhouse if you have time. Vernon Womack, guys, wants excursion suggestions for Falmouth, Jamaica, going next week. Vernon, hopefully, is Falmouth where we were? Oh no, that wasn't it. It was Freeport that Tommy had suggested. Okay, so Falmouth, Jamaica, guys, excursion suggestions for Vernon. Robert Hodge said, if our questions are not answered during the chat, should we send emails later or will they be responded to? Yeah, Robert, I always respond to emails. You email me at Sherry@CruiseTipsTV, but just leave it here after the chat saves to replay. It's easier for me to respond to comments on YouTube than email because sometimes the emails go to my spam filter and I never get them. So just wait till this saves to replay and leave them here. I always respond to questions. Tina Atkinson said, we have a family cruise planned on the Carnival Dream for the beginning of May. We're going to Belize, Mahogany Bay, Cozumel, Costa Maya. Wondering about the weather and if there are free beaches. Yeah, definitely. Okay, when are you going? The beginning of May. The beginning of May should still be pretty nice, Tina. That time of year, the weather should be beautiful. It might be getting a little bit humid, but not very much so. Belize, Mo Bay, Cozumel, and Costa Maya. Are there free beaches at any of those? In Belize, that's not what the choice I would make. I would definitely recommend that you get an excursion. Yes, in Cozumel, you could probably find a public beach to take a taxi to, and the same with Costa Maya. Mo Bay, I'm not sure. We'll have to have other people weigh in on that here. So hopefully you can see the chat as it's rolling, and we'll get some tips coming in for you. DJ Young 35 says, hi Sherry, we're planning on going on a cruise in spring 2019. When is it too early to book our cabin? It is never too early to book your cabin. The moment that you decide that that date works for you, you should book it. You can always look for price drops later by setting a price alert at cruiseline.com. So that would be my advice to you. Book it early. All right, Charlotte Whitmarsh wants to know, I'm getting in the chat here, what do you suggest for excursions at Princess Keys? Charlotte, I can tell you that we're renting a cabana. You can also rent snorkel gear, you can rent rafts, there's all kinds of fun things that you can do there, but we're renting a cabana. If anybody else has ever done that, please let her know. Aaron said for an 8-day cruise, how many bathing suits should an adult man bring? I would do 2, Aaron, and I would take something to wash them out in the sink with, a little package of detergent, dry powdered detergent in a Ziploc bag, wash those puppies out in the sink, roll them in a towel to get all the moisture out, clip them up on the line in the shower, and he can rewear those 2 the whole time. That's probably what my husband would do. Maybe sometimes even just 1 for him. Okay, you guys are so funny today. Oh my goodness sakes, I love reading the chat. I wish I could keep up with you guys today, but there's a lot of people here. Mr. Cruise Tips TV, do you know how many people we have here today?
185.
185 people. Okay, cool. That's awesome. Thanks for joining us, you guys. We have definitely missed you. Okay. Bonnie wants to know, can I get a shower bench on the Regal Princess? Yes, Bonnie, you can. I strongly suggest that you email them in advance or have your travel agent make the request in advance in case they're running low on them, especially if you have not booked an accessible cabin. So make sure that you make that request in advance. Get someone to email it to them in writing because there is no, I don't think there's a way to note that in the cruise personalizer, but that's a good question. Okay. Okay, Roxanne said, do you know any good reputable companies or websites for booking excursions on your own going to Freeport? It really depends, Roxanne, on where you are going. I don't really know about a specific website for Freeport, but you could do your research using cruiseline.com. You could do your research using TripAdvisor, things like that. Just look for places that have good reviews. Okay. Let's see here. Thank you, Brooke, for joining us. Really appreciate it. Bonnie said she's rented the cabana or bungalow at Princess Keys. It was wonderful, like having your own private beach and AC and great food. Yes, Bonnie, we're really looking forward to that on our cruise. I'm so excited about that cabana. I really hope that nothing bad happens and they don't like cancel the port call or it's too windy to tender. I just have this weird feeling that something bad's gonna happen in Princess Keys because I'm so excited about it. So, okay. Susie, thank you for the kind words. We miss you too. Okay, good. All right. Bonnie, you got a cabin upgrade? Wonderful. Okay. Mr. Cruise Tips TV, let me know if I've missed any questions. You guys, if I've missed your questions, feel free to retype them in the chat. Yeah.
Did you answer Ryan's question? I'm sorry, Ryan Richards'
Ryan
question,
Richard.
about how much notice the ship gives if the itinerary changes?
Okay, great question. Ryan Richards said, how much notice does the ship give if the itinerary changes? It really depends on the situation and why it's changing. Sometimes they don't know until you're on the ship that something has changed. They may not know until the day before. They may not know until they pull up to a dock and have a problem. So it really varies, Ryan. I wish I could give you an answer, but we've had it happen. We've had it happen several times, and sometimes it's been at the moment, like you're pulling up to the dock and the winds are too high and you have to turn around. Other times we knew a week in advance. With our Caribbean Princess itinerary changes, they shortened all the itineraries because of a propulsion problem. We knew probably 4 months in advance, so it really varies. Okay. All right, I'm going to go back to some of the questions that have come in throughout the week, and we'll see what we can do to help people out here. Ryan, I think I already got your Panama Canal cruise. Yes. Donnie and Lisa Pittman said they're going on Royal Caribbean Mariner of the Seas, October 2018. It'll be your kids' first cruises. They'll be 14, 12, 10, and 8. They're a close-knit family as far as activities. Do we have any tips or suggestions about the ship to focus on the kiddos? So, Donnie and Lisa, you sound a lot like us. We always pretty much stick together. Our son's still little. He doesn't do a whole lot of things on his own. So I think you guys are really going to enjoy going to shows together, the ice skating shows, the production shows. I think you're going to enjoy dining together. That should be wonderful, spending time by the pool. And some of your kids will be together in their age group in the kids clubs. If they choose to participate in those activities, they'll probably have a couple of them will be still together. But I think you're going to find that there's a lot of great activities, from cupcake making to there's just dozens of choices, and it should be the ultimate choice of cruise lines for a family with kids your age. Good job choosing a cruise line. WM Andrea Schultz said, question about your Panama Canal cruise. What is a partial Panama Canal cruise? Hubby and I have heard you mention it several times, but we can't figure out what it is. Okay, so WM Andrea Schultz, picture the Panama Canal as this giant waterway that connects the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. Along the way, within the waterway, there are several sets of locks which allow you to pass through. You can go through one set of locks, or you can go through all of the sets of locks. But through that process, you're winding through this, I don't know, maybe 40 or so mile channel to get from one ocean to the next. A partial transit is when you enter just the first set of locks or so. You hover in Gatun Lake and then you turn around and you come back. You do not pass all the way through the canal from the Atlantic to the Pacific side with the intention of going from the Caribbean basically over to South America. You stop and come back. So you experience the locks, but your cruise is also going to be shorter. You can do a 10-night or so partial transit cruise, whereas a full transit of the Panama Canal usually goes from somewhere like Florida to LA and is more like 14 days. And then if you do a full transit, you're also going to be stopping along the way up the Mexican coast. And so that's how it works. We did a partial transit because we've spent so much time already on the Pacific coast that we didn't feel the need to continue and transit through. I really do want to go ahead and transit all the way through the Panama Canal someday. I would love to have the experience of going through the older locks, because on our cruise we're going through only the very, very, very new locks that were just finished very recently, the Agua Clara locks. So we're missing out on the full experience, to be sure. If you want the full experience of going all the way through the canal, you definitely want to book the full transit. Okay. So, next question today comes from Evelyn Ceballos. Can you take cups for coffee and water in your carry-on? Yes, you can. Keep them empty. That's how you would do it, Evelyn. Flavel Quang said, can I iron my clothes in a Sapphire Princess cruise, and how much does it cost? Flavel, you can have them ironed, you can send out and pay for it, but you might as well just take them to the laundromat yourself. They have self-serve laundry on Princess, and you can iron them at no charge. Tanise Smith said, missing Vlogtoberfest. Let's see here. They're going on their honeymoon cruise on Carnival Victory, 4-night cruise, and they're worried they won't have time to do anything. Do we have any tips on how to make the most of a shorter cruise? So Tanise, I would say, don't do too much. I think with a 4-night cruise, you really should try not to overschedule yourself because those can be very exhausting. So have some nice dinners, enjoy some rest and relaxation, and don't overplan yourself. Evelyn Ceballos says, any tips for Carnival Splendor? Cruise is soon approaching, December 10th. All right, so Evelyn, I already told you to go to the steakhouse on Carnival Splendor. Their aft pool on Carnival Splendor is awesome. I believe they have an adults only aft pool there. Definitely enjoy that as well. And then our last question today, and then I'll dedicate the last 15 minutes of the chat, our time today on the live stream to the chat, is from Tiffany Living Good, who says, my family and I are going on a Christmas cruise, 15 family members total. We've booked a grand suite on Carnival Ecstasy for my husband, self, and 3 kids. Any tips to keep the magic of Christmas going? Should we leave milk and cookies out on Christmas Eve? Should Santa bring gifts? Ideas or tips on how to decorate our cabin. I want to make this trip magical for our family. I love that question, Tiffany. I think it's the perfect question to end on today. Of course, we're not ending the live stream, but I think there's so many different things you could do. You could bring some of your own decorations, keep it light, don't bring too much stuff. I do definitely think Santa should bring a few small wrapped gifts, or maybe unwrapped. You could wrap them on the ship. Keep it small and remember that the cruise is definitely the experience, but also rely on the ship to spoil you for Christmas because they definitely will. They definitely know how to do it right. And just that experience alone is going to be really magical for you. Okay, back into the chat, you guys. This has been a busy one today. If I've neglected you, Mr. Cruise Tips TV and I are going to scour the chat for your comments right now so we don't miss you. We don't want to do that. Okay. D. Monique said, so with that comment, is it worth doing an excursion on a 3-day cruise? D. Monique, it depends on the ports. Where are you going? And I'll answer that for you. Amanda, the Splendor does not have Guy's Burgers, I don't think. No. I'm pretty sure that they haven't had the 2.0 yet. They need it though. I'm pretty sure. But we can confirm that later. Yeah, no 2.0 upgrades on the Splendor. Okay. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you, Miss Michelle 1, for confirming that, you guys. I really, really appreciate that. I hope you guys all have a happy Thanksgiving too. Cheryl, thank you, thank you, thank you. That reminds me, I've been wanting to wish you guys a happy Thanksgiving, but something tells me we'll probably come on and tell you that again right around Thanksgiving. Wink, wink. Stay tuned that day, you guys. It should be fun. Okay. Let's see what other questions we have. Amanda said, did you get the pics of my cabin door decorations? Yes, Amanda, I think you sent them to me through Facebook. They're really cute. That reminds me, I want to share them on our Facebook page, and I will try to look for them and do that. Thank you so much. I shall do that. D. Monique, you're going to Ensenada. Oh boy, that's a tough one. Ensenada is not the best port in the world, but if you've never been there before, get off the ship, but do not just walk around in Ensenada. That is a mistake. There is nothing to see right off the ship. You've got to go do something. So great question. Okay, Robert Hodge wants to know, do you leave your passport in your room or take it with you? What if you get left? Robert, do not take it with you. Leave it in the stateroom. You are not going to believe this, but if you get left behind, the shipboard staff actually takes, I'm not kidding you, they go to your room, they take the passport out of your safe and they put it down with the shoreside staff because they already know you're not back on the ship. I'm not kidding. That's a thing. Ashley Ryan said, we've booked a custom private Jeep tour in Cozumel. Do you have any recommendations for must-sees? Ashley, I think you've already done what I would recommend that you do, which is to book a tour. Just get out there and enjoy the island. Have some local cuisine and some margaritas and some cervezas and just enjoy yourself. Jennifer McCarty said, do you know if you have a suite booked, if they will have your room ready as well, or should I buy faster to the fun? Jennifer, I think with suites on Carnival, they do try to have them ready because you're already getting those perks if you're in a suite. So yeah, they should have your room ready for you. Marcy said, hi from Leduc, Alberta, Canada. Hi. I wanted to know how much money do you have to save for a cruise? Oh, Marcy, it really varies. There are cruises that are as cheap as $199 for, 4 or 5 nights. And then there are cruises that are as expensive as $5,000 for one person for 1 week. So it really varies. I'd say the average cruise is probably about $1,000 per person for a week in maybe an outside or a balcony cabin, but I'm really generalizing there. Okay. Gail said, why not keep your passport with you? Gail, the cruise line reasoning is for that is because you're much more likely to lose it in port and have trouble getting back into your home country. They don't want you to take it on board because all you really need to get back on the ship is your ID and your cruise card. So they'd rather you leave it where it's safer. That's the thinking. All right. Dion, thank you for the nice comment. You're so very welcome. Okay. Hi, Dee Dee. Can you talk to a first-time cruiser about simplicity? Robert is making himself crazy trying to pick or plan a cruise. I think that a lot of us do that, Dee Dee, when it's our first cruise. We get obsessive about things and you want to plan everything and you want to pick the perfect cruise. And I think that's really natural. It's part of the planning process. So what I would say then to Robert is, Robert, really prioritize the things that are most important to you. Is it budget? Is it when you're cruising? Is it where you're going? Is it the ship? Think about what it is that experience means to you and control those things and then try to let the rest go a little bit for a little while, and you'll find that you have a much more relaxed experience. Cassandra said, do you guys get your passport stamped at each stop? If yes, how can I get it stamped? If you go through customs, you can, but we generally don't do that. I've done it a few times, I think in Canada and stuff like that, but we haven't done it very much. Okay, cool. Bonnie brings up a good point, you guys, that sometimes you may need your passport, like if you're going to the Yukon. So if you're going on an Alaska cruise and your excursion crosses the border, you might need it. Okay. Katie said that when they were in St. Thomas, they made her take her passport with her too. You were stuck on the island and your husband had to get it. Oh, okay. That's interesting. Oh my, that sounds complicated. Okay. Ruth Ann Iverson said, got off the Carnival Vista this morning. It was awesome. Tip, use the Hub app. So much info. Lost Pikachu said, how much cash should I bring with me? Oh my gosh, we get that question a lot. It's really difficult because we don't know where you're going and if you're going to be using credit cards or not, but usually a few $100s of cash is sufficient for most people. Okay. All right. Roxanne, I know I would love to make a packing list for you someday. I've got to do that and post it on Pinterest. That would be so fun. Mr. Cruise Tips TV, any other questions coming in that I've missed?
Well, there was one from Dakota Lynn.
Dakota.
Do I need to exchange any money for shopping and eating and such, or do they take American dollars? She's going to Cozumel and Costa Maya.
In Cozumel and Costa Maya, you can use American dollars. This should be just fine. That's what we did. It was no problem at all. Okay. Tyler said, because of the hurricanes, there's going to be 21,000 people at Cozumel when we're there. So you're thinking you're going to stay on the ship. You didn't plan to do this. No, don't stay on the ship, Tyler. Book a spot at Nachi Kakom or one of the other beach clubs. Go have a good time. Take a Jeep tour. Go see the island. Don't stay on the ship. Cozumel's beautiful. Natural Beauty said, how does Holland America compare to Royal Caribbean? Natural Beauty, that is an excellent question. Holland America is more focused on the experience than the ship is the destination. So you're going to find Holland America to be a very refined level of service, very classy. You're also going to find that there are activities, but that the focus is more on the experience and the cuisine. Royal Caribbean is going to be more activity rich, good for people who are very active. Big city people tend to like Royal Caribbean. Lots to do, lots of entertainment, lots of shows. That's not to say that that doesn't happen on Holland America, but Holland America is tranquil, laid back, lots to do. Also tends to appeal to a much older demographic on Holland America, but not always. And Royal Caribbean is good for people who are going to go out and, you want to do a lot. You want to climb a rock wall. You want to go on a flow rider. You want to swim. You're very go active type of a person. Hopefully that helps you. Don't forget to check our cruise line personality quiz. It's a lot of fun. Maybe Mr. Cruise Tips TV can save it to the description in the replay. Okay, yeah, Scott Singer said the food is incredible on Holland America. And so true, Scott's right, you guys. The quality of food on Holland America is just really, really high. It's excellent. Okay. Ferris wants to know any tips for a first timer to Ensenada in April. Yeah, Ferris, definitely book something. Go see La Bufadora, the blowhole, but know that you're going to be accosted by a million vendors as you walk from the bus to the blowhole. It's just the way it is, but it is really fun. I would definitely recommend it. Do something. I know, guys, the medallion. I don't know yet about the medallion. For Princess, they are changing some of the launch dates for the medallion, but I know for Caribbean Princess, the ship we're going on soon, it's still set to launch in March. of 2018. So, okay. Yeah, Amanda, take your passport with you. Just leave a copy of it on the ship if that's what you need to do. That's perfectly fine. I completely understand what you mean. That is a very, very good idea. Okay. Mr. Cruise Tips TV, any other questions I've missed that you want me to answer?
You're doing great.
Doing great? Okay, you guys. Last chance. We have 5 more minutes. If I have missed your question, leave it in the chat right now. I see one coming in. Liberty Cruiser said, are there any hidden secrets to see on Liberty of the Seas? Ooh, well, I can tell you that the ice skating is very elusive. It's very difficult to book it, and there's only a very small window of time that you can do it. So I don't know if it's a secret, but my secret would be get in your newsletter and make sure you know when to book it or you're gonna miss it. SoCal Seth, I am starving too. I am so hungry right now, and we've been talking about lobster and chowder. I'm starving. We need to get some food. Honey, can we get some food? He said yes this time. He didn't say no. You guys, for those of you who have been watching my Facebook page lately, I've been posting some old videos on Facebook because I realize a lot of the people who are new to our channel probably haven't seen a lot of this stuff. And in our first live stream, my husband did a behind the scenes, and I kept joking with him about being hungry and asking him to make me a snack. And he denied my request, but it was funny. He was joking. But anyway. So let's see here. Christy said, is it easy to get a cab off the ship in Cozumel? Yes, Christy, it is. There will be a line to get a cab, but it is easy, and the prices are all posted there, okay? So yes, there are. Eve said, did you know that the lobster at dinner is not free? You pay market rate on Carnival. I didn't know that. I know on 5-day cruises or shorter, there's no more free lobster on Carnival, but I think that on the longer ones there are. Okay. Let's see, last minute questions, guys. I'm trying to catch them all. Oh, Dion said, any tips on how to dress when traveling from a city that's cold? Yes, Dion. Wear all your warm clothes on the plane. Jacket, sneakers, jeans, and scarf should all be on your body. And that way you can save room in the suitcase. That's the way that I handle it. That's the way I'm gonna be doing it on my next cruise too. Okay, I know there's more coming in. Roxanne, you're so sweet. Rewatching. What were you laughing at, Roxanne?
Jen E.
What did Jen say? Jen, hey Sherry, have you gone on a cruise when you have a cold? If so, how'd that go? Leaving in 8 days, hoping I'm better by then. Well, Jen, why yes, in fact I have. And did you want to know that our family has a curse? My husband and son are sick right now, and we're hoping that they get better before our cruise that's coming up in a little while. I'm not feeling all that great today either, and we generally tend to get sick before just about every single cruise. In fact, I had some kind of bizarre allergy or bronchitis or something on my last cruise for the entire time. I was coughing so badly on my first day that in order to vlog, I had to take crazy amounts of allergy medicine and cough drops just to talk. I could barely even talk. It was managed very well by random types of medication, and I felt okay on the cruise, but it is horrible. A lot of people get sick on cruises. They get colds. It's something we don't all want to talk about, but it's just life, you guys. What we're doing is we're going cruising in the middle of flu season to escape the cold. Of course we're going to get sick. Happens all the time. I'm sorry, friend. I really feel your pain, and yes, happens to us all the time. So Vanessa, I've never been on a cruise over New Year's, but definitely watch the replay here because we have been talking about that and it's fun. Okay, Kate said, if I have the Cheers package and prepaid my tips, do I get charged gratuity on the drinks? Nope. If you prepaid gratuities, you do not get charged extra gratuity. So it's one or the other. If you want to leave a little extra, a buck or two here and there, you can definitely do that. A lot of people find that they have a better bar experience if they tip a little extra. That's up to you. Okay. Looking for questions, scouring the chat. SoCal Seth said, would you guys like me to film a packing tutorial before I go to Hawaii? SoCal Seth, of course. And if you send it to me, I'll share it on our Facebook page. Hello, we would love that. Please do. That sounds fantastic. Yeah, set up a tripod, my friend. Do it. We would love to see it. You guys, Seth is our packing ninja. Packing ninja has been with us from the very early days of Cruise Tips TV, and he has talked me off the ledge many times when I was in a packing quandary, especially a packing light quandary. So yeah, I want lobster dinner too. Oh no, Liberty Cruiser, you're sick too. Yes, you guys, it's that time of year. It's okay. You're not alone. Try not to let it get you too upset. Pack lots of cold medicine for your cruise. Just Get lots of sleep, do what you can. Obviously, if you're really, really sick, you shouldn't go on the cruise. If you have a fever or you have intestinal symptoms, please be careful. Don't go. The cruise line will work with you. And also, we have to say it's a good idea to buy travel insurance for things like this that tend to happen. Jen, stocking up on your meds. Yeah, definitely. Vitamin C, cough drops, lots of tissue as well is always a good idea. I like NyQuil packets, the kind that you could just pour into hot water, you know, like the Theraflu type. Those can be really great. I can't believe we're even talking about this, but it's such a thing. You know, once you start talking to people, you realize it happens. And it's not the cruise that's making you sick. It's probably the stress of life and flu season more than anything. And let's be honest, airplanes. You guys, I'm telling you, airplanes. My husband and I have a fun little tip. No, it's not fun. Did you just shake your head like it's not fun? It's disgusting and gross. It really is. It's disgusting. But this is a perfect tip to leave you all with for our live stream. You take a tiny bit of Neosporin and you stick it in your nose. Like you put it on the end of a Q-tip and you line your nose with it. It's kind of an antibiotic. And our theory is that it helps us on airplanes to not get as many germs by breathing them in. I don't know if it works, but we do stick Neosporin up our nose. It's really gross. So, all right, you guys, I think we're about ready to wrap up here. It is 1 o'clock. We have been on for an hour. It's been so fun being back with you. If I've missed your question today, which sometimes we do now that our chats are getting a little bit busier, please wait until this video is saved to replay and leave your question afterwards. Right now, the chat won't save, so I will miss it. Thank you guys so much for sharing in our passion for cruising. If we don't speak with you again, happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your holidays, guys. Try to get lots of sleep. Be so thankful for all the blessings in your life. I know we certainly are, and we thank you guys for being such a wonderful part of our lives. Until next time, we'll see you on the high seas. Bye-bye.
Cruiser of the week!
Hey, click me to subscribe.